I told you I was going to bring it up earlier. I know you're a socialist, so I want to know your opinion about this.
Sure thing.
I don't believe that you could be truly anti-capitalist and believe in a federal income tax in the United States of America. What do you say to that?
Well, taxation is not socialism. Taxation goes on under every system to some degree or other, right? Mm-hmm. And there are different forms of taxation. I mean, I think we need a capital gains tax first, why not tax the Wall Street transactions, right? Mm-hmm. In a lot of ways, the federal income tax hits working families and working people much harder than it hits the corporations. Look, Amazon and some of these big corporations, they've managed to not pay any taxes despite making millions, but yet working people, how much of their paycheck every month comes out in taxes. So I can understand why people might feel that way.
Damn it, Caleb, you can't just agree with me. Like, shit, I was hoping you'd hit me with some crazy socialist, like most people who call themselves socialist, democratic socialists, like, what? How can you say something like that? Because people are just pre-programmed and conditioned to just viscerally respond. I didn't say I don't believe in taxes at all. I don't believe in taxes without representation. I don't believe in an inherently corrupt institution like the United States federal government. We can, once again, call ourselves, quote unquote, anti-capitalist while simultaneously propping up the main mechanism that funds capitalism, right? Because, like you said, there's a reason corporations don't pay those taxes. Mm-hmm. There's a reason the elite can use their accounts to get them out of basically paying those taxes. And yet the burden then once again shifts to us. My preference would be we have to tax corporations in the way that get rid of federal taxes in general, because I feel like with federal taxes, these are like things, it pays quote unquote for things that are mandatory. And like, you have to have a job, right? You have to have a job, but you don't have to have a corporation. You don't have to start that business. However, if it is successful, it's because of the consumer and your employee, and the success of that corporation at that point would then, of course, it would be meaningful to the success of society, and therefore we should tax you as such. Now, because that is a voluntary choice for you to start that particular business, I'm not saying we have to tax you out your ass, but I am telling you there is no skating those taxes. There is no, this is what you pay, just do it. Like, I don't get to choose how much Medicare tax comes out of my paycheck. It just comes the fuck out. So if we do that, then I believe we solve a lot of problems, because all of a sudden, if it's the corporation's money that is being spent or mandatorily taxed, then when they're in DC, yeah, maybe they still have lobbyists, but they're making sure you're spending their money the way it should be getting spent, because now it's their money that's on their books that is no longer there. And I think that you might start to begin to see different outcomes with the level of corruption in DC if corporations had to begin to account for their money being spent to a ridiculous degree, because they can no longer skate out of paying those taxes than what we are seeing now, where the federal income tax burden falls on us, but yet we still have to pay for healthcare for whatever reason. That doesn't really work. We still have to pay for our roads. Like I know one state I was in, there's a road tax, but there's also a vehicle tax, but you also have to pay for tolls, which should be accounted for by the road tax. Also, we already pay for these roads out of our state taxes, so none of it's really making sense. We pay, a ridiculous amount of money in the federal income tax, and yet we don't ever see really the results of that. And they're always coming up with new excuses to ask for more money at different levels.
Well, the thing is,